for the Superbikes, the big power sliding 160 horsepower machines. They're about to set out and do battle one more time. That's Robbie Baird there on screen. Have a look at how relaxed these guys are. They're about to set out and do battle.
Row 1 consists of Sean Giles, Matt Mladen, Jason McEwen and Kirk McCarthy. From 2, it's Martin Craggle, Robbie Baird, Ben Archibald and Philip Harper.
Yes, a strong field. Well, Sean Giles, the pressure's going to be on. That's Benny Archibald, one of the leading privateer contenders in Australian Superbike racing. Gilesy on screen, cool, calm and collected. We're in the starter's hands. And this is race 2, round 3, the Australian Superbike Championship. Who will get the whole shot? Look for Matthew Mladen, bike 3. Here comes Sean Giles from the outside, bike 19. But it looks to me as if it's one of the Winfield Hondas has gotten through. Vision from Matt Mladen's bike. That's Kirk McCarthy ahead of him. That's Sean Giles who's just jumped up the inside. What a great picture. Now you're riding with Matthew Mladen here at the Baskerville Raceway. This will give you a big idea as to how fast and furious Superbike racing is.
Certainly is. Listen to how hard he's revving the Kawasaki. They make their way around the back part of the circuit. Leader is McCarthy. Then it is Giles. Mladen sitting back and forth is Jason McEwen from New Zealand.
Yes, big ride here from McEwen, trying to back up his first win earlier today. Back on the bike with Matthew Mladen. Have a look at the battle ahead of him if you can focus on what's going on ahead. That is Sean Giles working over Kirk McCarthy. Onto the straight they come. You can see how the bucking Kawasaki really does give Matthew Mladen a hard ride out there. Here's Sean Giles, tucks to the inside, having a run at McCarthy. Can't do it. This is absolutely brilliant action from Matthew Mladen's machine. Have a look at the ground that Matthew Mladen managed to make. It is McCarthy, Giles, Matthew Mladen, and the second of the Ducatis back in 4th place. But it is McCarthy, Kirk McCarthy, riding for everything he's worth. Gets the front wheel up, gets it down just in time to turn into the left-hander for the big run onto the back straight. Now here's where the Ducati is strong. It's got plenty of top speed. It is very stable under brakes. McCarthy turns it in. Oh, Gilesy up the inside. So Sean Giles has ridden himself into the lead. McCarthy tries to come back. It is still Matthew Mladen back in 3rd place. This is phenomenal action here at Baskerville. Jason McEwen up there in 4th place. He's working over the Kawasaki of Matthew Mladen, but it is Sean Giles in control as they head down to the S's. We've got a red flag situation. One of the competitors has come down. Let's have a look at this replay in the meantime. Up the inside goes Sean Giles. McCarthy had a little bit of a balk. He simply didn't have a corner to turn into. That is great action.
Well, the reason for the stoppage was that Phil Harper came off the Ron Bombardieri machine. He's up and okay. That is the good news. We're in the starter's hands, and away very smartly was Matthew Mladen. So too was Benny Archibald, already up to 3rd place. Archibald last year's Malaysian Superbike champion, so a great start from him.
Absolutely brilliant action. As we've said, he's the leading privateer in Australian Superbike road racing. He's proving that right now. Actually, it's interesting because some of the privateers are having real troubles getting the right kind of tyres as the field streams up to Shell Skyline. That is Robbie Baird, bike 9, but it is his teammate, Kirk McCarthy, out in front. Matthew Mladen's up there, Ben Archibald. Right in behind Archibald is the leader at the moment of the Ducati team. Not quite going to plan, but that is Sean Giles. So the Kawasaki of Matthew Mladen absolutely wound to the stop. Here comes Sean Giles up the inside of Benny Archibald. So Archibald goes back to 4th place. Now, right at this point, you would have to say that the Ducati team, well, they've got to work very hard if they intend on getting further forward. That's Marty Craggle there, bike number 2, the second of the Kawasaki riders up there. So at the moment, the charge is on. It is Honda, Kawasaki, Ducati, Kawasaki, Kawasaki, Ducati. So there's certainly a spread of machinery out there. That is Jason McEwen, bike 22, up the inside of Archibald. Here comes Robbie Baird into the bargain. So Baird now working over the back of Archibald's machine. Archibald comes back on Jason McEwen. It is McCarthy, Mladen, Sean Giles. They are your top 3. Then it's back to Martin Craggle, and you can see there, bike 22, Jason McEwen on the Ducati. He's also trying to move himself further forward. Mladen stays down behind the fairing, and right at the moment, though, it is McCarthy who is very controlled under brakes. Looks very strong. The big mover, though, has to be Sean Giles here on the Ducati. Has made all the ground up right onto the tail of Matthew Mladen now. And Matthew Mladen is working so hard. You know, he has not recovered from that very serious ankle injury that happened to him in January this year, and he still limps around the pit. So this is a phenomenal performance from him. But right at the moment, Kirk McCarthy riding the wheels off this RC45 Honda as again he lifts the front wheel. Matthew Mladen makes some good ground. In fact, McCarthy's run himself wide. Mladen up the inside. So Mladen rides himself into the lead. Here comes Sean Giles along for the ride. McCarthy knows that Giles is there as well. So he shuts the door on Giles. Not a lot he could do though, because it is Matthew Mladen now the leader. Here comes Kirk McCarthy out of the slipstream. Late on brakes, the bike is sideways, gets into the final turn here and is absolutely on the map. What a performance from Kirk McCarthy, prepared to do whatever it takes to stay in the lead.
You can see that the Ducati's torque is really starting to come into play now. Jason McEwen up to 4th place. He's managed to get around Martin Craggle, and you can see how hard Sean Giles is working Matthew Mladen over. He's managing to keep the Kawasaki just in front of him, so holds Giles out at this stage.
Yes, I think Gilesy, though, really is in command. He knows he's got enough laps to have a good think about it. The Ducatis are very easy on race tyres, so it really should come in the last few laps where the Ducatis are the freshest tyre-wise. But Matthew Mladen using all of the track and working over the Kawasaki. But gee, you've got to hand it to Kirk McCarthy. This is a brilliant ride from him. And Mladen, well, riding with injury. Oh, up the inside goes Sean Giles. The big run there from the Ducati. So Gilesy late on the brakes and well and truly using the great suspension system of the Ducati. They are so well sorted and they just seem to work so well here at Baskerville. So Matthew Mladen, well, he's got himself a battle on his hands now. It is McCarthy, Giles, then back to Jason McEwen. So the Ducati sitting in 2nd and 3rd place. But what a ride from Kirk McCarthy. The bike sliding, lifting front wheels, then immediately lifting the rear wheel when he grabs the brakes. At the moment, this is the race of his career. Kirk McCarthy riding for everything he's worth. But I tell you what, it is Sean Giles determined to take points, determined to put another championship in the bag for this year for him. He's already taken out the Superbike series, and here he comes up the inside. While they've touched, it is Giles down. McCarthy has run off the track as well. Can you believe that? It looked to me, Gilesy got in pretty hot, the pair of them. This is a classic racing incident. These two guys riding 10/10ths have simply come together. Gilesy turns it in and just taps the back of McCarthy's bike. Gilesy hits the ground, McCarthy straight on. Well, fortunately, there's some decent soft dirt here before they get to the Armco railing. Both riders up and okay, but Sean Giles, well, he would be so upset. Mladen in 2nd place, and it is Jason McEwen now leading for the Ducati team, and both riders, as I said, are okay. And right now, it is, well, it's potentially the 2nd race win for the day for this man on screen, Jason McEwen. A big ride from him, and you know, you've got to be in the right place at the right time.
McEwen making his way around the back of the circuit. Mladen now getting involved with some lap traffic, so that's only going to hold him up all the more. You can see there quite graphically the lead that McEwen has already got himself. He's got a very level head on those shoulders there, and I tell you what, if he keeps it all together, he's going to take out a 2nd race here today.
Yes, isn't it interesting to see just how Sean Giles rides the Ducati and how Jason McEwen rides the Ducati? They are very similar in their styles, quite obviously. The fact of the matter is that's the way the bikes like to be ridden quickly, and it's a very sit-up type style, whereas with the Kawasaki, Matthew Mladen gets right off the side of it. Jason McEwen, I'll tell you what, if you're getting the signs P1, that's place 1 plus a lot right at the moment. Another rider's gone down into the S's, and gee, I tell you what, the S's have claimed a few today. It is a tough corner, and basically you lose the front end. There's not a lot you can do about it, as Jason McEwen heads down the back straight one more time. And aren't the Ducatis magic? He's working it hard. You can see the back stepping out there. Mladen sitting back in 2nd place, and for Matthew Mladen, this is a very successful ride as well. He would be very happy. Again, look how late he uses the brakes, the bike, the tail moving around there. A lot of weight transfer. In fact, very little weight on the rear tyres whatsoever. They're on their last lap. For Jason McEwen, he is 2 kilometres from home.
Robert Baird from Queensland riding the Honda RC45, now up to 3rd place. So he's riding well, and this will be a good result from him. Jason McEwen, though, on screen, your leader. Now, has he got a good gap over Matthew Mladen at this point?
Yes, quite a stunning gap, you know, and it is amazing. Here's the battle going on for third place at the moment, and that is Robbie Baird, Marty Craggle, the second of the TKA, the Team Kawasaki Australia riders, in behind him. Jason McEwen knows he's heading for 2 out of 2. And gee, I tell you what, there'll be a party in the Ducati team tonight, no doubt about that. He's keeping the pace on as well. So here he comes for the second time today, heading for victory in the second leg, round 3 of the Shell Oils Australian Superbike Championship. He takes it out, and that will be one happy Ducati rider.
Second place being grabbed there by Matthew Mladen, and third, Robert Baird. That is race 2, round 3 of the Shell Oils Australian Road Racing Championship for Superbikes. What a happy chappy is Jason McEwen. You can see